So you go to YA, man. You're 15 years old, and you head to YA. So you have to go to a reception center.
Yes.
What was that experience like when you arrived there? Because you're there with the big boys now. I mean, I know it's a prison for juveniles, but you're there with the big boys now. You made it.
Yeah. So YA is nothing compared to juvenile hall, because YA is, those are kids that are like that are from up to 25 years old, you know, and the kids that got juvenile life, and it's a whole different ball game. And you know, it was like Spartacus, the show.
Yeah.
You see it? And we all have to survive. We all have to prove ourselves through violence. That's the only way you're gonna get respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
So you get there, and you know, my experience was when I hit reception, I remember we call them dorms. So I remember hitting my dorm and walking, and it was cells. And I remember just walking through the hallway and everything, and people were on their cell doors, you know, cell warriors. And they was yelling out, you know, where you from, fool, you know, and all that shit. And they was banging on me, you know. Was that kind of the same experience with you when you walked in?
Yes. And SRCC, Norwalk, that was my reception. It was a cell living. And what do you call this? I've seen a lot of things even at that time. You would have some folks that would like talk real hard, like they're hard, like that, and then they would play the part. And I've seen them all like drop out and PC up and get scared. But I thought it was hard. So throughout my time in my whole 13 years, I've seen a lot of things, from people that pretend to be a gangster to the, like, you know, to the people that was actually go all the way.
Yeah. Levas, right? We used to call them levas.
Oh
yeah.
And it wasn't that bad. It was the only thing that that was bad is the fights in the blinds, because that's when anything goes until whatever. But like for the most part, it's only like a 10-15 second fight. Or you can say. So it wasn't that bad for me. And even in the blind, sometimes you would go, "What's up?" Somebody calls me out, "What's up?" Yeah, but man, that was it. You know.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
You was talking about in one of your videos about one time in why you actually went after. See, a lot of people don't know what a battery pack is, or you know, whatever. When you put something in a sock, we used to throw back when I was in YA, we had padlocks, so we used to throw it in a sock. Yeah, and I've watched a lot of people get their whole wig split. You know. So you have mentioned in one of your videos that when you were in YA, you had woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and you had one of those packs. You went after. Tell us about it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this guy right here, he's a Mexican cop. Yeah, and I just feel that in my instinct at the time that he doesn't like me, because anybody that I would get in a fight with, black, Mexican, or anybody, because at that point, I've already fought with everybody and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because they like to test people, or somehow you have to test them back. And then he would always mace the other people first. I mean, they would always try to mace me first. And I noticed that. It's also, you know, so anyways, there's something wrong with that guy. And one time he was telling me, "Hey, you gotta check," something like that. You gotta check, and then the check is, that means that they'll take some of your privilege away. You did something wrong, out of bounds, or something like that. And I was like, for what? You know, he doesn't really want to say it. All right, fuck this. So I grabbed my thing. I always had it on already. It's already ready. And then, "What's up?" I'm trying to size him up, and then when I started getting close, he started going backwards, and eventually he ran to the YCC, and I chased after him to try to make it look good also because everybody's watching, and then I just started smashing the YC. I told you, B, you're a B, you know, you're
Yeah.
this, yeah, puss you, well, you can't see, yeah, you know how it is. And then I had hit the alarm. Security trying to chase me, but before I break my shit down, I have to take away the soap from the sock, so it won't be a weapon. So yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
man, just going through all that shit as a kid, man, and you look back on that whole thing, and it's hella funny, man. How we acted and went off back then. So, you know, you're in YA, you're doing all this stuff, and you didn't even know, though, because you had got tried as an adult. So you were up under another category versus everybody else who was just sentenced to YA. So you're getting in fights, and you're getting into it with the counselors or whatnot. You're adding more time to yourself or points. So what's happening with that, you know?
Oh man, they were already warning me at the time, like, you know. But actually, that was actually one of my advantages also, because even the regular YA kids, we keep calling each other out. Who's losing? Because I'm going to the Pinta, to the to Prince Penitentiary anyway. And what's up? Don't you want to go home? So I ain't tripping. You call me out, I'll call you out. And so that's one of my advantage. But little did I know, they're gonna hit me with a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're getting a lot of points now, and you're turning 18. So what happens? They have to transfer you out of there, right? So you're gonna go to prison. What was that like?
Oh man, I was scared shitless, bro. I don't know how else to say it, but I got this mask on. I'm putting up a front, like always trying to act hard. Always like in YA, and of course the real OGs, they see through. They've been there, done that. So they look at me like, "Come here, man. Come here, little youngster. Let me tell you something, man." And so luckily, I've ran into some old pares that had all day also, and they were giving me they were basically they wish that we're in the same position where they can go home, and they're just telling me to, like, you know. But don't get me wrong, I've met some other OGs that are straight, like, I don't care, we'll stay here forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What prison was this?
Oh, okay. Pelican Bay and Kern Valley.
No, I mean, like, the first place you ended up, you had to hit reception. Which one was it?
Oh, okay. Oh, the reception that I went through first was Tracy, DVI.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I was just on there for a couple months, and my first real main line was the Pelican Bay.
Okay. What what year was you over there in DVI?
Okay, on DVI, it was 06. I remember it was a summertime on July 25th, and it was like summertime in Tracy. So real.
But you ended up going to Pelican Bay, which was a different story. So straight from reception, you went to Pelican Bay?
Yes, sir.
Damn, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
How old were you by now?
Still 18. I was still 18. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
Like, I look like a little kid right now. Imagine more,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
So even the white COs, when I pulled up in the 8th building, 8th block, the orientation block, they said, man, does your parent know you're here? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
And then they were telling me that I got lucky because we just barely came off lockdown with the war against the whites.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So I missed that one. I got away on that one.
Yeah. So what, I never made it to Pelican Bay, thank God, man. But from what I heard, it's just basically all lockdown. So when you got there, what type of program is Pelican Bay running? Like, for those people who don't know what it's like in a level 4 prison, a Rider prison like that.
All right. To those during my time, this was in I was in Pelican Bay 06 to 09, and at that time, B yard was the BS yard. It's the messed up yard.
Okay.
Just for because they didn't really have that much program, so it's mostly lockdown. They would have yard, but only 30, 45 minutes. Sometimes they'll just cancel it. You'd be lucky to have a yard once a week on a normal program, once a week or twice a week. And compare to A yard, in which at least they would have PIA in A yard, because that's where they would have the main kitchen and some of the vocations like the optical and the auto mechanics and stuff like that, and laundry. So A yard is the better yard compared to B yard. They send people to B yard that are just coming out from the shoe, mm-hmm. and the fuck ups, basically.
Right. So was it just for you? Yeah, as far as program goes, you get out what, once a day?
Yeah. See what they were doing at the time in B yard is they would like always say get ready for yard, mm-hmm. then at the last moment cancel yard, and sometimes they would just make you wait for a long time. If they we already know that if they are late for about 30 minutes, I'm just taking my shoes up. I know they're gonna cancel this anyway. Yeah,
cancel yard.
Have that. Yeah.
Man, so it was a pretty shitty program. I mean, most of the time you just never know if you're gonna come out your cell or not.
Yes.
Yeah. And I heard in high desert. I heard in Pelican Bay that it rains probably like 9 months out of the year. Is that true?
Yeah, it's stay raining over there, man.
Yeah, really dark place.
It's always dark, and I just got used to it. I just accepted it. Like, why is it like this, man? Is this really like, what kind of place is this, man?
Yeah. What was it like for you? What were you thinking? I mean, how did you feel being around people who got all day and they're never going home? What was that experience like for you? Was that like kind of a way? Did that like give you a reality check in a way where you're like, damn, I don't want to be like the homie here?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because like I said, I wasn't really supposed to be there. I got 14 years and 2 strikes. I'm supposed to be like in a level 3 or level 2 or something else, man. Not that, but because of my points from YA. So I get to hang out with almost everybody, man. And sometimes I'll just be like, man, I don't want to be on your shoe. That makes me grateful about my situation. And I still can see the light of the end of the tunnel more clearer than you can, because some of them, they got LWAP without the possibility of parole. And, it's crazy, man.
Right.
And every day they would wake up and still go to the same thing.
Every day is the same. Yeah, every day is the same program for them for the rest of their lives. Yeah. So, were you still the hard-headed youngster at the time when you hit Pelican Bay? Were you getting in any trouble there, like any fights or anything like that?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, they got me on a cell with this VN cat, also a youngster, got all day. And man, he wasn't really trying to, like, I feel like he wasn't really embracing me, trying to talk to me like that, because he would do it on purpose. Like in the morning when it's program time, mm-hmm. That's when he'll go to sleep. And then after program at the last lockup at like 10 or 9 or 10, that's when he'll turn the TV on and program, like that's supposed to be program time. So I'm like, he doesn't really like, I think, what I mean? So I'm not really tripping until one day I'm laying down my bed, and then I opened my eyes and he was looking down at me. I'm in the bottom bunk. He says, I could have killed you last night, right?
Damn.
So was like, oh, hold on, man. So I came off the blanket. I'm still wearing my sweatpants at the bottoms because it's so cold. And then I took my socks off. I stood up on the door so I'm getting a cool spot. And then that's when he sat down to the little table and started eating his little food. But it's too late at the time because you already said you were gonna try to kill me, so I'm gonna need that. And so I told him, like, man, just get up, man. I don't want to hit you while you're, sitting down. So he got up and he trying to talk me out of it. It's too late. I gave him a left, start swimming immediately, And then he's a bigger cat than me. And the thing that I didn't like also is because when everything was said and done, like a few weeks later, and we already got separated, they already put him to the other OG Vietnamese, and they checked him, man. They checked him. They told him to put their shoes on and program time. This is a 180, man. You gotta get your shit together. They checked him. That's a good thing. The other parties, they talked to me too, and he came out to the yard, and he was spreading rumors that this youngster dolphin me or something, like I beat me up when I was laying down, which is like, that's not that's not even anywhere close to the truth, So I don't understand why. Is this how you were raised, or do you think it's a good move? Yeah, I don't get it, bro.
Yeah.
But I got mad at the time. Hey, buddy, let me take off of this food right now. I told the party. He said that. He was like, hey, man, just calm your ass down, man. I'll fix this. At the time, the other oldie party, and then they fixed it. These are just dumbass kids, Yeah. So
that's crazy. So like the older padres and stuff over there, they were pretty cool, and they, did they try to keep you out of trouble as much as they can, being that you were so young and you had a date, where they like kind of what the type of people were to tell you to say, hey man, just chill, man?
Yes, bro. Because almost all of them got all day, and the only one that, bro. So they have a different perspective and mindset. And my brain at the time is I've started to feel sorry for my folks, and they were visiting me from LA to Pelican Bay. I was like, damn. Look at the things that I'm making on, and I passed the GED test. They were so happy about that. My first take. Okay, hopefully they become happy for this. And then I did the optical. I started to look at a different side, like, hey, let me do something okay, instead of just being like,
Yeah.
I like to call it that. Yeah.
So I do the same, buddy. So you realized, man, you know what? That's cool as fuck, bro. You realized, like, hey, you know what, man? I'm putting a lot of strain on my family. They're coming way out here to Pelican Bay to visit me and shit. That's love, you know what I mean? And a lot of people up there in Pelican Bay probably don't get visits,
Yeah,
exactly. So that's kind of what helped me myself as far as prison goes is that outside support, that family support makes you kind of keep that hope going, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. That's really good, Pare, that you started realizing that. So you went and got your GED and everything. You started programming, trying to do something better with yourself. I like that, man. So how long did you stay there in Pelican Bay?
For about 3 years, 2006 to 2009. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You mentioned some older pares there, and of course, when I was locked up, I met, some OG pares also that are doing life in prison. One of them, he sticks out to me in my memory really good, and but I'm not going to mention his name, but we used to call him Kuya, and then his name Kuya, and yeah. So, but he was in there doing all day and shit, and I just remember feeling bad for him, you know what I mean? Because he really, like you too, he really didn't understand everything that happened, you know what I'm saying? Basically, he committed a crime and all, but he didn't understand the law or anything like that. And I used to feel bad for him. How about you? You met any OGs like that were locked up that today, you wonder how they're doing and wondering, damn, man, they got all day in there. They're never going home. Is there any couple homies that you ran into that you still keep in touch with, or? think about
Oh,
sometimes?
yes, bro. There's a pare. Shout out to Sandman, man. He had all day, but when I met him in Pelican Bay, uh, he was still new to the system, and what do you call this? He's still there, um, still keeping his head high, and I could see that he's looking forward to that new law, and hopefully he gets out on that. But yeah, I met him in Pelican Bay, and he saw me on YouTube, and
Yeah.
oh, I know this guy, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and but as you said about the other pares, yeah, uh, man, I don't even know what's up with them right now.
Sandman or Sadman?
Sandman from the
Sandman.
Bay,
Okay.
Frisco,
So let the viewers know here when you met Sandman. What year was that?
2006.
And here we are,
That's
2021, and he's still there. So
still there, bro.
that's
Yeah.
a reality check for a lot of people out there. You know what I mean? And so, we're talking about these guys that we left behind in there that are still doing time, but most people out here have forgotten about them. So, just remember that, you're doing a lot of time, you're doing all day. A lot of people will forget about you. Man, that's some crazy shit, Bade. So after Pelican Bay, what happened? Did your points go down? Did you end up going to a lower level? Did you get transferred somewhere else?
Yes. So ever since I came to Pelican Bay, some people were lacing me up to file for hardship, and he says get like a medical chrono that says that your folks are incapable of driving that far or stuff like that. And I got them real quick. So every year on my annual, what is it called again? The annual thing. I
Yeah.
would always present that. Look, I have complete documents. Get me out of here, Pelican
Yeah.
Bay. I got the hardship, and they granted it 3 years later, and
Nice.
sent me straight to a war zone, Kern Valley.
but closer to home though, right?
Yeah, it's closer to home.
That's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Man, so you end up at Kern. That's a level 4 too.
Yes, sir. It's a 180 design also,
Yeah.
and this woke me up because I was already getting comfortable. Like, man, I think everything's gonna be good. I don't have to worry about getting shot in the head, and I think everything's gonna be good. But
Yeah.
nah, it's not for sure. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you get there, and then so it's a war zone. Was the other car involved in anything at the time when you got there?
Bro, Nightmare, shout out to Nightmare, man. He used to go to my cell like, what's up, what's up, youngster? Oh, what's up, folks? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And because everybody was just doing their thing. Everybody knows each other, and uh, everybody's going through the same thing. We're all just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your pride. You're not gonna break your shit down for your peoples. And if there's war, you can say, you have to go. Everybody goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the culture also, I believe.
So it was normal program.
Normal program.
Yeah. Yeah. You said
Also,
Nightmare, man.
my bad.
Go ahead.
Also, rest in peace, Dirt.
Dirt.
That's where I met him from Long Beach, Sagan.
Rest in peace, Dirt.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned who did you mention just a minute ago? Nightmare.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you
yeah.
mentioned Nightmare. I don't know if you saw my video with that CO, but he had mentioned Nightmare.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that. Yeah,
Is that the same moves? I think
I just the
so.
same moves. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
because
crazy.
you know what I mean. They had to do it. They had to bust a grape. But a warning would have been you know what I mean. It wouldn't be a bad idea also, but I guess you just had to be professional. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that's crazy. Small world, man.
Small world.
So you're closer to home now, Kern Valley, and you're programming there. Let me ask you this. I didn't ask you, programming with the other car. you know, your experience with that, you know, on these level 4s or whatnot. People, you know, my experience was a little different in high desert, a little more strict versus where I went after that. Any yard that you were on, was the other card, did they have a certain program like that where they were programming like level 4 politics, or was it always just kind of regular program, you know, as far as the other card goes?
Oh, okay. Well, in Pelican Bay, bro, because we had numbers in there too. There's a lot of people in there, and it's looked down upon when they see, for example, I'm Pinoy, and then they see me like I don't have my shoes on, I don't have everything ready like I'm supposed to. Like my folks, the Pares is gonna check me first before anybody else, out of respect, and they're gonna tell me this is how you're supposed to do it. And me as a youngster would automatically fall through and agree. Yeah, you're right, man. Because I see you guys doing it, you know. So I have to do it also because I'm not freaking special or, you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna go against the grain and say fuck my peoples because I support my peoples. We're all in this together. So it's the same thing, but others would also, like I mentioned before, the BN would do their thing and would check their own youngsters also if they're messing up, and that's how I notice. Make sure we're soldiers. Nobody goes to take a piss by himself. Nobody does that. Always somebody has to have your back, and you know, just on your toes, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So there was a certain structure there in Pelican Bay that you guys followed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and the reason why you guys follow that structure is because of why?
Oh, for this besides being outnumbered,
Yeah.
for safety and security, and some of them would even they taught us how to, because in the bay is cheese grater hole, the door. So we would tie a string in there connected to the lights, to where even if somehow they have like a little malfunction and somehow the electricity goes off and they just open up the cells, they're not just gonna open up the cells because we got it unlocked already and we're prepared.
Oh,
so
shit.
When you put the string, you can't really open the cell even if they push the button. So we got to take the lock off. So we control that, and just basically put your shoes on every time, because you never know.
Yeah.
And you just never know.
Right. Yep. Good shit, man. Good shit.